Hi friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. Today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading, and this is the winner of last week's poll, which is going to be messages from your future spouse. So as always, we have three options. Option number one is going to be the sticker with Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, and we actually have them twice. And this is, if you've watched the movie, this is from the, I believe, 2005 movie where they are in the field, and this is the engagement scene. Option number two is Anthony Bridgerton, almost forgot his last name, and Kate Shawarma from the Bridgerton TV show or book series. And option number three is going to be Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet, and this is in front of Mr. Darcy's home, Pemberley. So pause the video if you need to, ask yourself which pile or maybe piles have a message for you, and let's talk about what we are going to cover in this reading. All right, so for this reading, we are going to start off by looking at who you are and who your future spouse is. And as always, that is meant to give you confirmation that the pile that you have chosen, that the pile that you're listening to is the right pile for you. We will then move into your soul level connection. What's going on with your soul connection? How are you connected to this person? We will look at what makes you attractive to them. So more than likely during this reading, we are going to be tapping into your future spouse's higher self if you have not met them yet. So this is things that they are going to find attractive about you, and it's more than physical. When you meet, and things that they think is beautiful about you. And for those of you that may know who your future spouse is, that is going to serve as confirmation. We are then going to look at what is something their higher self wants you to know right now. Like, this is a pressing issue that their higher self wants you to know. What's blocking both of you? What's blocking the connection? What's in the way, if anything? Then we are going to get into what are they currently working on. So what is your future spouse currently working on? And we're going to kind of take a glimpse at your future together. And then we're going to end the reading by just getting additional messages your future spouse has for you. So if this sounds like something you want to explore more of, hear more about, if this is in alignment with what you are looking for, stay tuned. If this is where you leave me, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you come back soon. But let's get started. Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Elizabeth Bennet, Mr. Darcy in the field sticker. We are going to place that sticker right over there as a reminder of your choice. And speaking of reminders, as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. I also did a reading breakdown at the beginning, which is time-stamped below. I highly suggest you check that out because it's going to give you the outline of what exactly I'm going to cover, and that way you know if this is the right reading for you. But in order to get started, we are going to look at your energy and your future spouse's energy. And the purpose of this part of the reading is just to give you more information about who your future spouse is, but also to help you confirm if this is the right pile for you. So my intention is that you, my viewer, are on the left and your future spouse is on the right. It can happen that it's flip-flopped, but if you don't resonate with this or this, it could just be that this is not your pile. So try choosing a different pile. Let's get started. So first person, we have, the elk. Okay. Then we have Gemini rising with curious, thorough, sophisticated, complacent, intelligent, domineering, observant, insecure, charming, conventionalist, talkative, inquisitive, clingy, open, And it says, you often take risk because you crave the purpose and focus that challenges bring. Desire for freedom and variety motivates you to travel and learn new things. And then we have the abundance card there as well. All right, let's see what else we have on this side. We have the Panther. The Panther energy has been coming up a lot lately. We have Venus in the third house of Gemini, I think. No looking back, peaceful, tactful, emotionally expressive, convincing, changing moods, wordplay, cultured, talent for music, art, and writing, flirtatious, can be mean, can't stay put. You are a sapiophile, loving to express yourself through impressive words and word pictures. If you get bored in a relationship, you move on and never look back. And we're going to talk about all of that and healing. So let's start by talking about this elk person. And before we even get into who this elk person is, I do want to talk about some of these zodiac signs that are present. With the elk, we do have earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. With the second card there, it's Gemini rising. So Gemini energy very heavy. That could also represent the air signs in general. So it could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but the emphasis is on Gemini. And then we have abundance, which to me, abundance can absolutely be earth as well. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So that is just confirmation. If those are not your zodiac signs, it does not mean that it's not your reading. Just take it as extra confirmation if it resonates with you. But who is this elk person? This elk person is somebody who is quite stable, quite resilient. And I also think this is somebody who is very intelligent, who is constantly planning for what is next. And I think that this elk person is someone who really values security, especially in the form of finances and material security. To me, the elk person feels like somebody who really values having a nice, comfortable home to go to. Somebody who really values the finer things in life, but also somebody who really wants to have their not only their basic needs, but I think that this elk person really likes to have comforting things around them. So to me, the elk person feels like the type of person where if they were to spend their money to treat themselves, they are probably getting like nice fuzzy blankets, a book. They could be getting like socks. They want to make sure that the things that they wear are nice. They could be investing in like a really good meal. This person is somebody who really values comfort, but somebody who also knows how to work very hard, and someone who knows how to take action in order to go after their dreams and manifest the things that they want in life. The elk person is very much, I feel like this is somebody who is very confident when it comes to the actions that they take and what it is that they're creating. I do feel that this elk person does give this air of self-confidence even when they are not feeling confident. And I also think that the elk is a very grounded person, somebody who feels very stable. I said resilient at the beginning there, someone who you can go to for support. And I think that the elk person is someone other people go to when they are seeking support, when they are seeking advice as well. And with the elk person, I would not be surprised if this person has very heavy earth and air energy. So this could be somebody who has like a Gemini sun, but they may have like a earth sign, moon, or rising. It feels like there's a bit of a balance there, and this person is really balanced within their masculine and feminine energies because of all of the signs that they have going for them. This elk person is not afraid to work very hard. This elk person is someone who has very defined values and someone who makes sure that they are following what their values are. So this is somebody who is has a lot of integrity, who has a lot of ethics, and they are always operating within the confines of what their core beliefs are and what their values are. This isn't somebody who's going to take a shortcut. This person is not afraid to work hard. I do feel this elk person has a very supportive energy, and this could be somebody that in their own family structure, this is the go to. This is the person that is always taking care of everyone else. Um, and I think that one thing about the elk is this is someone who knows how to be a very good partner, a very good friend, a very good sibling, a very good son or daughter or parent. Like this person shows up and they give 100% of themselves when it comes to the relationships and the connections that they have in their life. And I think that the elk person is really appreciated by their loved ones. Like their family and friends really appreciate who this elk is and how they show up in the connection. And there's a lot of respect that the elk person commands. There is a lot of just admiration that I also think that this elk person commands. And as I said, I really think that this is somebody who is very good at manifesting and someone who is very good at bringing in abundance in all its forms. And I have to say, I think one thing that may happen with the elk when the elk is stressed out, it could be that the elk like overeats or there's something around food. For some, it could be that this elk person is a chef. For others, it could be that like stress causes this person to overeat. Like eating could be a comfort for this person, but it just feels like this elk person has a very strong connection to food, and food has a strong connection to how they process certain things in their life. But also for some, not all, obviously, it could be that this person works with food or that they may consider themselves a foodie, or it could be that this person it just really enjoys, like part of how this person treats themselves is like going out for a good meal. Like there's something very comforting um, for the elk person when it comes to food. And one thing that's coming through here about this elk person as well is that this is somebody who is very good at reading the energy, not necessarily the energy of other people as much, but they're very good at reading like overall energy, and they're very good at reading a room, but they're also very good at tapping into patterns and possible it's almost like if this person is an investor, they would be very good at knowing when to invest and knowing when it's time to kind of take a step back. They're very good at reading trends and identifying upcoming um, popular things. Like this person is in some ways like 5 steps ahead of everyone else, where before something becomes popular, this elk person is already aware. This elk person is already on it, or this elk person has already discovered it. And I also want to talk about that this is somebody that is very intelligent. This is somebody who is very observant. This is somebody who can carry a conversation, and that's something that these two are going to have in common, is that this is somebody who's very interesting. And I think that this elk person is very charming as well. But don't get it wrong, this is not somebody that you want to mess with. That's coming through very clearly. And that's going to kind of take me to the panther, because when you look at the elk and the panther, they may appear very differently, but these two have a lot in common. So, when we are talking about this panther person, and I want to get into the zodiac signs before I talk more about who this is, But with the Panther, we have fire represented, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We also have Venus, which Libra or Taurus can be Venus. They are both ruled by Venus. And we have Gemini, which is an air sign. And we have healing, which is water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So we have quite a bit represented on this side. And again, if you don't resonate or if that's not your zodiac sign, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not your reading. Take it as extra confirmation. But when it comes to this Panther person, this is someone who is similar to the elk, but they're also very different. And I think one thing that the elk and the panther have in common is they are very confident and secure. And even when these two are not feeling confident, the air that they put out, the aura, the vibe that they put out is one of confidence. It's one of being secure and sure of themselves. And I think that these two together give a little bit of power couples. I said couples, power couple vibes. And I will say, pile number one thing about this is these two have very similar energies, but it feels like the elk is going to kind of ground in the panther, and the panther is going to light a fire under the elk from time to time. But overall, the way that these two are, who these two are, is very similar because this panther person is someone who is also constantly working on what it is that they want to manifest and constantly going after what it is that they want. And the panther is someone who is very productive, someone who is constantly trying to create and bring in more success and more security. And I think between these two, we have two very successful people, especially when it comes to monetary success and when it comes to like material items. Like these two have access to really ground in and bring in a lot of just a lot of material success, but also obviously that comes with mental emotional success. But I think that these two can build wealth in the form of like actual money, actually bringing together, coming together to really create a stable foundation. I would not be surprised if these two kind of go into business or invest money or kind of own some properties together. But when it comes to the panther, this is somebody who is not afraid to take chances. This is someone who is not afraid to walk away from anything that is not working for them. And that's very interesting here because we have the panther and we also have this card, the Venus in the third house, which says no looking back. And I really think that that does embody the energy of the panther. And I think that part of why they are that way is because of the life experiences that they've had, where they have had to kind of show up and say, I can't hold on to this because they have experienced a level of loss in their life that has kind of made them this way and made them into who they are, where they are not afraid of saying, if this is not working for me, whether it's a relationship, a job, a whatever it is, I am not going to stick around. I am going to walk away so that I can create something that is worth my time and energy and something that is meant for me. And one thing about the panther is that the panther really trusts themselves. Like whoever this panther person is, this panther person has a lot of self-trust because they've learned how to rely on themselves, and they've learned that in the past they've always gotten where they need to be by trusting themselves. So this is somebody who has done a lot of work when it comes to self-trust, and they trust their gut, they trust their instincts. This panther person is also someone who has almost kind of mastered the power of surrender, right? They've mastered being able to let go in order to welcome in what is meant for them. This Panther person is someone that is very honest. This Panther person is also someone who has a very charming way about them. And I think that the way that the Panther communicates is very powerful, and there's something very captivating. I also think that there's something about the Panther that whatever it is that they speak life to is exactly what they create. And that's something that these two have in common as well. We have Gemini rising and we have Venus in the third house of Gemini. And I will also say, I think this Panther person is really going to be smitten by the Elk person and vice versa. But if I had to guess, I would think the Panther person is going to be the one to notice and kind of like really. It's almost like if these two were in a room, the attraction is mutual, but there's something about the Panther that really notices this Elk person. And if I had to guess, I would say the Panther is going to be the one pursuing the Elk. But regardless of how that plays out, there's something about these two, about the way that they communicate, about their communication styles, and their ability to hold each other's attention. Like it's like magnets. These two are going to be magnets towards one another. And I do think to some extent that's going to be very surprising for both of them, especially for the Panther, because I don't think both of these people are kind of used to meeting many people where they feel heard, they feel understood when on an intellectual level. So that's coming through very clearly here as well. Trying to see if there's anything else that wants to come through. I think these two are constantly looking for ways to improve themselves and their experiences. But I think the Panther is way more extroverted than the Elk. And I also think the Panther really likes to move around. I would not be surprised if this Panther person has moved about, like from in different cities, different states, different countries. It feels like this is somebody who like moves around a lot, and it's someone who's not afraid to like relocate and get up and go. Let's take a look at soul level connection. What wants to come through about the type of connection this is? Yin yang. Yeah. I'm not surprised to see that here because these two, as I said, the energies may appear to be very different, but they're definitely, it's like they complete each other. You complete me. Not in a like, there's something missing from my life, because I think these are two whole individuals, two people who have, like, these are two people who want a connection, they want a relationship, but these are also two people that are very self-sufficient, that do not need someone. I don't feel like unhealthy codependency. I don't feel two people that are going to try to find someone just not to be alone. Like, this feels like two very strong individual people that are coming together because they truly enjoy one another, and because the other person is going to elevate their life by being around. It doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of desperation or from a place of, you know, it's something that I need to do. Like, this would be two people that would be completely okay. Like, they would rather stay single than to like settle or go for someone else. Man holding a coin. This card is going to drive me nuts, so we're going to put it down there. And action. Yeah, actually, let's keep you here. So, as far as the soul connection between these two, at the very least, these two are soulmates. At the very least, this is like a high level soulmate, somebody that you are meant to connect with. Someone, I think for many of you, you've had a past life with this person. I'm honestly not getting too much so far as to whether you may already know who this is or not. But this type of connection is really balancing, where again, it's like you balance each other out in the best way possible, where it's like looking in the mirror. And I do think there's going to be a lot of like lessons learned, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but there are a lot of lessons learned, and I do think there's going to be a level of adjusting to one another, because in some ways this is going to be like looking in a mirror. In other ways, these are two very strong individuals coming together. And what's interesting is that the elk has a lot of divine masculine energy, and the panther has more of a divine feminine energy. But again, both of these people really have a balance, a good balance between their divine masculine, divine feminine energies. And this isn't speaking to gender, this is speaking to the energy that they operate out of, and their vibe. And as a reminder, we all have divine feminine and divine masculine energies. But I also think that this is a connection where it's very much about two people coming together and building a life together. And I do think that these two are going to be on the go a lot. There's a lot of like things to do, there's a lot of things to accomplish, there's a lot of traveling for these two. There's just a lot that they're bringing in. And I actually want to highlight, look at this action card. We have the yin and yang there, but look at the action card. We have the white horse and the black horse, representing that yin and yang energy there as well. So this is two people that are coming together to manifest, to build a life together, but also to balance each other out. And I will say, as far as soul connection, this is really, at the very least, a soulmate. But I think for some of you, this is going to be high level soulmate, maybe even divine counterpart, somebody that you have had a connection with, and someone that you are already very deeply connected with. For some of you, you may already be having dreams about this person. You could already be feeling their energy, or you could be someone that has like this inner knowing of, you know what? I know my person is out there. And I also want to say for this group number one, pile number one, is that both of you are so strong that you're going to hold each other accountable, and you're going to push one another to be the best versions of yourself. Let's take a look. And I think neither one of these two is afraid to like call out the other and say, you're doing something I don't like, or look in the mirror, look at what you're doing. Let's take a look at what will make you attractive, pile number one, to this person. And I did say this when I was doing the reading breakdown. If you don't know who this person is, and I think for many of you, you won't know who this person is, we are connecting to the person's higher self. Three of Cups, Ten of Swords, Two of Swords. All right, so let's talk about it. So pile number one, I am going to give you not only physical attributes that your person is going to find attractive, but we're going to go into just personality, who you are, emotional, mental, all the things. Take the ones that resonate, leave the rest behind. So for my pile number ones, for some of you, I'm going to go with the physical first. There is something about the way that you walk, something about the way that you carry yourself, something about your body movement that is going to be very attractive to your future spouse. For some of you, you may have like very long, full hair. It could be wavy, it could be curly, or it could just be like very voluptuous hair that's coming through. There could be something about your hair color that stands out to this person. I'm also smelling like a very nice scent. I think for some of you, you may wear a scent that is like very clean, it's like fresh, clean. It's very unique to you. There's something about your body chemistry and the scent that you wear or will wear when you are connected to this person that is going to really kind of drive this person crazy. For some of you, it could be that you are a very good dancer. I keep getting something about the way that you move, something away about the way that you walk, something about the way that you carry yourself. There's something very graceful about you, pile number one. Your figure is also very beautiful to your future spouse. Like, that's something that they are going to love as well. There is a lot of strength that this person is going to absolutely just admire. And I think a big thing for my pile number ones that your person is going to admire is that you take no crap from anyone. You know what you deserve. You are not willing to put up with less than, and you will not let anyone disrespect you. And you are not afraid to communicate, to call it out, and you can be quite blunt in the way that you speak to people about the way that you are being treated or the way that you deserve to be treated. And I also think that something that your future spouse is going to find very attractive about you is the fact that you are not afraid to walk away. You are not afraid to put yourself first and say, this is not in alignment with who I am or with what I want to experience, so I am going to walk away. It's almost like you don't have to convince anyone of anything. For some of you, there's something about your hands where I'm actually getting like a very soft. I don't know if you have like very soft hands. It could be like you always have your lotion on, your hand cream on, and your hands feel very soft. That's coming through. Someone here may be a singer, or someone here may have like a very beautiful voice. For some of you, if you sing, your future spouse is going to find that very attractive, but also your voice, the way that you speak as well. This one is very specific, but for someone, the ear. Like, this person is really going to love like whispering in your ear or like playing with your ear. It could be like kissing the ear. Some of you may do that to them, like where you kind of play with their ear. You may massage their ear because I'm seeing like very soft hands caressing the ear. Your future spouse is going to find your intelligence very attractive as well. Pile number one, you are someone where even when you are not sure, if you have to make a decision, you'll make it and you will do the best that you can with the information that you have. And it's funny because I think some of you may kind of think of yourselves as like indecisive. That's not the case at all. When push comes to shove, you know what to do, and you do it with grace, you do it with confidence. Let's take a look at something your future spouse's higher self wants you to know right now. So this is something that their higher self wants to bring to your attention right now. We have the Two of Wands, Strength card, King of Pentacles, and Six of Wands. Very interesting. Okay, so pile number one. What your future spouse's higher self wants to bring to your attention. First and foremost, you're already connected to one another, and your future spouse's higher self is so proud of you and everything that you are accomplishing. And your future spouse's higher self is saying that you are mirroring one another more than you may realize, and that when you connect, or for those of you that already know who this person is, you are going to realize just how much you have in common and how much your life path has been mirroring one another. Your future spouse's higher self wants you to think about, and I think for many of you, you already know what this is, but think about something that you are being called to do. Your future spouse's higher self is saying, it's time to take the leap. It's time to go for it. It's time to put yourself out there. For someone here, you may be thinking about changing careers. You may be thinking about applying for a new position, or maybe going back to school for something, or getting training in something else, or maybe like opening a side business, doing something with an investment. Your future spouse's higher self is saying, if that's been on your mind and you're questioning it, and you've been asking for confirmation, the answer is yes. Now, for others of you, this is your future spouse's higher self coming through and saying that it's time to have more fun. It's time to create more balance between your work life and your responsibilities and your downtime and your time to do things for yourself and to do things that are fun for yourself. Someone here, okay, these messages are coming very, very specific. Take them only if it resonates. For someone here, it's time to start writing the book, is what I'm hearing. It's time to start sharing the story. Someone else here, if you're thinking about traveling or moving, your future spouse's higher self is saying go for it. There's a big message here not to allow you waiting for them, or you thinking that if you do something for yourself, somehow it's going to create separation between you and your future spouse. Their higher self is saying, no, go after it. Go after what you want. Follow your heart, because we're already connected. We are already one. There's nothing that's going to keep us apart from one another. And the more that you align yourself to your own heart's desires, the closer together we can be. Your future spouse really wants to, again, like the overall message here is just, I'm so proud of you. I see everything that you're doing, and continue to grow and expand. For those of you that haven't met, this person is really wanting, like their higher self is really wanting you to know that they're closer than what you think. And there's something that you may be wanting to do or thinking about doing that may feel like it would push you further away from your future spouse, where their higher self is saying it would actually probably, like in a way, it would bring us together. Let's take a look at what blockages are here. So what could possibly be blocking both of you at this time? We're gonna get into the messages, and I'll explain more. The Four of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. So as far as what's currently blocking you, them, both of you together, I think that for this group, I honestly have to say, I don't know why you haven't met necessarily, but I don't think there's like any super blockages here that keep you apart. And for some of you, you may already know who this is. For those of you, I think majority of you do have not met this person. This is really emphasizing that right now is the time for self-care and for surrender, and to give yourself a break, but also to keep doing what you are doing, to continue to follow your path, to continue to follow your intuition. Because we have the Four of Swords, right? And the Four of Swords can absolutely speak to needing to rest and needing to kind of reconnect in a time of renewal, and giving yourself permission to slow down. But I also think that this is coming, for some of you, it is coming as a little bit of a warning almost, of like, slow down. You're doing too much. You're keeping yourself too busy. You are reaching a point of burnout. So if that's the message for you, take caution, right? Be aware of that. But I also think that right now, what you are both being encouraged to do is to practice self-care and to continue to take steps forward without forcing yourself to the point of exhaustion, but also continuing on your path is exactly what is going to connect you with one another. And for those of you that are feeling stuck, it's especially important to practice self-care, to take care of yourself, to give yourself a break. But I don't feel like there's anything really big like that needs to be worked through, or anything that's really keeping you apart from one another. Because I think for this group, you may be very close to meeting them if you haven't already. Let's actually go into that. Let's look at what they're currently working on. So what is your future spouse's current um focus? What are they currently working on? The 10 of swords. Yeah. The 3 of swords. Okay. So, with the 10 of swords and the 3 of swords being here, your future spouse is currently focused on and working on and healing. It's almost like they're healing from the past. They're healing from past heartache, from past heartbreak, and they're getting themselves ready to open up to not only to open up to a connection, but to be in a place where they are more comfortable with allowing themselves to be seen, and I'm hearing to be loved. This person, I do feel for both of these people, the elk and the panther, both of these people are single. I'm not getting like there's a relationship. I'm not really getting too much about a third party in the overall energy of this reading, but it feels like your person, your future spouse, is currently working on a brand new beginning for themselves. This person could be doing like inner work where they're kind of just going through and releasing anything that does not serve them, releasing anything that is holding them back, coming to terms with the things that happened in the past, coming to terms with how they got to this point in time, but also figuring out like everything that has happened to me, where do I want to go from here? Where do I move forward from here? But it feels like because it's a 10 of swords, it feels like they're right at the beginning of their new journey. So that's why I think this person feels so close to you. Like, I would not be surprised if within 3 months of you watching this reading, you've already met this person or come across them in some way. And for those of you who know who this is, where like you may be in separation from them, they may be coming back around sooner than what you think. And what's interesting is that I do think there's a lot of mirroring here. So it could be that you are also going through this period of just like purging and transformation where it's like, let me get myself back to where I need to be, or let me get myself to where I want to be. And then I'm going to move forward. So it's almost like a review of these are the things that happened. This is how I dealt with it. This is me making peace with it. Pile number one, if you are someone where you are also kind of going through this energy of just processing and releasing and purging, I think like a bonfire, a fire, a bowl burning ritual, a fire ritual where you are burning, like writing it down and burning it in a significant manner would be very helpful. Obviously, only do that if it's safe for you to do that. So like a bonfire would probably be the best case. Um, but that's coming through here. And I think that your future spouse is being very intentional about this. Like it almost feels like this is someone who has kind of sat with themselves and said, I am ready for the next step. So I am going to consciously prepare, where I am going to figure out where do I go from here and how I'm going to get to that next step and how I'm going to be best prepared to welcome in what I want. Because I think your future spouse is at a point where they're manifesting you as well, where they're really wanting this connection as well and they're ready. So it's almost like this person is not only preparing, but what they're doing the inner work to get there of I can't take any of this with me going forward because my next relationship is going to be the one I want and the one that's going to stand the test of time. Let's take a look at a glimpse into your life together. So we're going to kind of glimpse in and get a glimpse of your life together. The 3 of Wands. Wow, the Ace of Wands. The King of Wands. The Queen of Cups. Okay, pile number 1. So I think a day in the life between you and your future spouse, I think you're going to have a life that is going to be filled with adventure. I think a typical day, and for some reason this is almost coming together like a picture, but I think this is, we're going to kind of drop in on like a typical Saturday. And here's the thing, I think for this group, there is no such thing as a typical Saturday, in the sense of, I think there's going to be a lot of adventures and a lot of exploration. But I think that if we drop in, what I'm getting is a day where you are both waking up, and it feels like you're waking up kind of like 9ish a.m. Like this is a lazy Saturday type of energy. And you are waking up and kind of Googling, right? Like looking around of what are we going to do today? This feels very spur of the moment. This doesn't feel like we planned this out weeks ago or we even talked about exactly what we were going to do yesterday. But it's like, let's kind of Google what's there to do around here. And for some reason, I'm kind of getting like going out and exploring. I think this is like a city over or a town over. It feels like we're going to go explore. We're going to go kind of for a walk or a hike, or we're going to go do something. It feels very outdoors. There could be a farmer's market, because this feels like very spring, summertime. And it's you kind of going and finding the gems that are hidden in this city, in this town, in this neighborhood. And you're going out to find, to have brunch together. Then you're going to walk around and explore some stores. There may be a bookstore there. I'm kind of seeing a little very cute bookstore with a bookstore cat. And you are just, it's a very like chill day. You could end up at like a vineyard. You could end up somewhere where there's some sort of outdoor, very pretty. I'm seeing pictures being taken. I'm seeing wine. So for some of you, this is going to be a vineyard, but it's also like you're walking around. As someone who's been to New Orleans, this is really reminding me of New Orleans. Now, I went on the off season, so it wasn't packed, but it's like that's the vibe, like French Quarter, but this feels more quiet. This feels just very cute. And you're exploring, you're having a good time, you're finding new places to eat. I really think for this group that's going to be a big thing, where it's like, let's find these new places to explore, whether it's like a store, whether it's like, let's just go thrifting, let's go find new restaurants seems to be a big one for this group, for you and your future spouse, where you're just exploring. I'm seeing cotton candy. That's very specific, but it's very sweet. And what's beautiful, pile number one, is that this isn't even like strange, or this isn't like, yeah, the reason we're doing this, it's because it's our anniversary, or because it's a special day. We're doing this because this is our norm. Because we enjoy spending time together, and we enjoy exploring together. Yeah, you may find like a little bakery that you go into as well, and you're just, this is very beautiful because it feels very romantic and just very lovely overall. Oh, I really like that, because I wanted that glimpse to be just like, what can you expect? But we're going to get messages. We're going to see what this person would say to you. Now, for this, my intention is, if you haven't met this person, this is going to be their higher self talking to you. For those of you that know this person, you may get messages from them and not necessarily their higher self. For this part, take the messages that resonate, leave the rest behind, as with the entire reading, but especially with this part. We have karmic ties. We have a past life connection. Memories are surfacing, either consciously or subconsciously. Some of you could already be having dreams about this person, or you can kind of have this idea of how your past life together went. We have, our mission is to be unconditional love. Clearing our programming is a necessary part of opening our hearts. And you know what, pile number one, that really matches with that Three of Swords and that Ten of Swords that came up for what your future spouse is currently working on. Then we have our love is eternal. It exists in every dimension and cannot be lost. So, again, that reminder there that nothing you do is going to separate you from this person, especially for this group, because I feel like this is somebody who is really kind of destined to meet you. There's a fated connection to this. And I am always the type of person to say we have more than one soulmate. But I think for this group, you are really meant to connect with this specific person. Then we have I long for your kisses and your touch. And I think this person, I said this, I really believe that this person is ready to connect. I really believe, pile number one, that this person is manifesting you in the same way that you are manifesting them. Then we have I'd long ago shut down those parts of me that wanted love, romance, and intimacy, but you make me long for those things again. And I think for those of you that don't know this person, they're feeling that call, and that's why they're doing the work at this time. Then we have, as twin flames, we are here to ascend and help others to do the same. So for those of you that identify and like you truly understand and believe that this is a twin flame, take that as it resonates. You can replace twin flames with soulmate. You can replace twin flames with divine counterpart, whatever you want, whatever resonates for you. And then we have my heart is opening to love and guiding me back to you. And I think for this group, I would not be surprised if for most of you, you don't know who this is. But you do have a past life connection to them, and they are making their way to you. And here's the thing, you're making your way to them as well. Let's see what else we have. We have some other messages from their higher self. I feel what you're going through. So for those of you that may feel like I feel connected to this person, I feel like I know exactly what they're going through, or I feel like I can feel them and I can almost like feel their energy. This is confirmation that you both have that strong connection to one another. I know it's not easy for you. Take that as it resonates, but I think for some of you, it's this person saying like, I know that you want this connection. I know that you miss me in the same way that I want this connection and that I miss you too. And then here we have, we need to make room for this union to happen. And I think that's what they're doing on their end, right? We talked about that Three of Swords. We talked about that Ten of Swords being there. It's that new beginning, making space, making room. And also for you, pile number one, for you, my viewer, it's how are you making that space as well? Let's take a look at, I got some messages of love for you. Longing, someone is secretly yearning for you. Yeah, this person, this is a lovely reading, pile number one, because sometimes it's like one person is ready and the other one is kind of getting ready. I feel like in this connection, you are both like truly wanting, desiring, manifesting one another. And I think for most of you, this is going to be new. But for those of you who know who this is, like if you are longing and yearning for them, they are also doing the same. And if you know who this person is, I really think they're going to show up a lot sooner than you may even realize. Let's take a look at what else we have here. We have retreat, time alone or in nature will help you recharge. So right now, this is what's happening. You're both being given time to kind of do your own thing. I don't think this is going to last for this group. Like I really think it's going to come in sooner than what you think. You're going to connect with this person. But I did pick one goddess card with a message for you, my viewer. This is a goddess that you can work with. This is a goddess that may just have a message for you. Let's see who we have for you. We have Cleo. Wow, past lives again. Yeah, this is definitely a past life connection. Reconnect with your past. So this is a goddess that you can look up, really connect with, work with if you feel called to. But also this is a reminder to, I think for this group, this past that keeps coming up is two things. One, this is a past life connection. You are already connected to this person. This is coming together beautifully. And I think for some of you, this is a second lifetime where this is going to be your spouse. But also, are is there an area in your past, or is there something in your past that needs to be cleared away, that needs to be dealt with as you make space for this to come in? That is something to ask yourself as well. But pile number 1, I welcome in my divine counterpart with love. I welcome in my divine counterpart with love. That is your affirmation. Claim it in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the things that help me out so much with YouTube. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Anthony and Kate from the Bridgerton shows, books, however you know them from, sticker. And I'm going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown that is time-stamped below. It's going to let you know exactly what will be covered in this reading. I highly suggest you check that out. That way you know if this is something that you want to listen to, if this aligns with what you are looking for. But let's get started. So we are going to start by looking at your energy and the energy of your future spouse. This portion of the reading is meant to give you more information on your future spouse, but also it's meant to help you confirm if this is the right pile for you. So let's get started. My intention is that you're going to be on the left and your future spouse is on the right. It could be that the energies are flip-flopped, but if this doesn't sound like you and this doesn't sound like you, it could just be that this is not your pile. So try choosing a different pile. Let's see what we have. Ooh, we have the Lamb. We have Sun in the 9th house, Sagittarius IC, seeking new horizons, looking ahead, loves learning, curious, adventurous, exploring new cultures and languages, teacher, academic, philosopher, your expansive desire for knowledge and the urge to experience different cultures enables you to overcome prejudice and self-imposed restrictions. I am a Sun in Sag, and I love that. I love that card. All right, let's see. And then we have Desire. Wow, talk about fire energy. And what do we have for the other person here? We have the Deer. Okay, wait. This is like really sweet to have the Lamb and the Deer in one reading as counterparts, as partners, as like a spouse. That's really cute. Like look at the colors. That's really sweet. All right, let's see what else we have here. We have Moon in the 5th house with Leo. I will, needs to be needed by others, kind-hearted, cooperative about love, serious about love, thrives on change, dramatic, expressive, generous giver, impulsive, passionate, uninhibited. You are an intense and generous lover, but take care not to be more attached to the game of love than the person upon who you bestow your love. Interesting. We're going to talk about all of that. And Limitless. Okay, pile number 2. The energies, the vibe, like the vibe. The vibe is here. Okay. Let's start with the Lamb person, and I'm going to talk about the zodiac signs before we get started. So for the Lamb person, we have Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have Sagittarius energy, which could also be fire energy with Leo and Aries included in there because we have the Desire card. But who is this Lamb person? This is someone, first of all, these two have so much in common. But this Lamb person is someone who is very kind. This is kind of giving like demure vibes. This is just giving kind, gentle, generous for both of you. But also for this lamb person, I think the lamb person is somebody who is very loving, very giving, very introverted, is what I get. And I think both of these people could be introverts. But especially for the lamb person, I'm getting a little bit of introverted energy. Though I do think if you put the lamb in a place where they have to be social, they will be. Because we do have that Sagittarius energy kind of showing up there as well. But this lamb person is someone who has a very loving energy, a very inviting aura. I would not be surprised if the lamb person can kind of make friends with just about anyone. There's something very inviting about the energy, something very gentle and loving. And the lamb person is one of those people that can make you feel seen, heard, accepted, and just like this person can get you. Like, this is the type of person where you can feel like this person just gets you, this person sees you, this person is very encouraging, very loving. And one thing about the lamb person is that the lamb person cares deeply. When they love with their full heart. When they care about something, they care with their full heart. This is someone who really loves to just be in the presence or be in the environment where they feel connected, where they feel that connection. This lamb person is very wise, and I think that this person really has like a wise soul, old soul vibe to them, where regardless of what the age of the lamb is, they seem wiser and like older than their actual age. So this could be someone that when they were a child, people would comment on like how mature they were or how wise they were, or like there's something about them that feels like wise beyond their years. I would not be surprised if the lamb person is like the oldest sibling, or they've had to take on a lot of responsibilities earlier in life than most. But I also think that the lamb person really wears it well. It's not somebody who is complaining. It's not somebody who really feels, I don't want to say overwhelmed, because I think at times it can get overwhelming. But I don't think the lamb person is necessarily somebody who is like just angry about the hand life has dealt them. It's like this is somebody who's making the best out of what they have. I do think the lamb person has a very deep spiritual connection, and I would not be surprised if this is somebody who has like a very set spiritual practice. Like they could have like rituals, they could have things that they do on a regular basis. This could be somebody that meditates on a daily basis, or somebody who does something spiritual or something to connect spiritually on a daily basis, or on a regular schedule. Like it feels like it's a part of this person's routine. And one thing about the lamb is this lamb person is very clairvoyant, very clairsentient, and very claircognizant. So the gift of clear seeing, clear knowing, and clear feeling is very much present for this person. They are very much connected to spirit and very much connected to the universe. I really do feel that whatever the lamb person's spiritual beliefs are, they're very grounded in those beliefs and in the truth of what they know is their universal truth. Like this doesn't feel like somebody who's questioning their beliefs. This feels like somebody who is very grounded in their beliefs and very much connected to what they believe in. I also think that one thing about the lamb is great when it comes to truly listening to someone. This could be someone who works in a profession where they have to listen, they have to be a helper. This person could be a therapist, this person could be a life coach, this person could be a counselor, this person could be a teacher, this could be like somebody, maybe a lawyer, somebody who has to really listen and take in information. And this person is really good at it, even if it's something, even if it's not what they do or a part of what they do as a career or for work. But this is somebody who can really sit there and acknowledge and listen and take into consideration everything that is being said to them. I also think that this lamb person really enjoys learning, but I think this person really enjoys learning through experience, and maybe not so much formally, as in like let me go to a school and take a class all the time. Maybe it's I'm reading the book, or I'm just going to take like a more like a workshop type of thing. But this is somebody who does enjoy learning and expanding and really taking in more about the world that is around them. And I do think that this person also has a lot of passions, a lot of creativity, and they have a strong connection to their heart chakra. What's interesting is that both of these people, I think, really do operate from their heart chakras. We see that greenish tint here, we see that greenish tint there. I would not be surprised if both of these people have like a combination of earth and fire that is very, very prominent in their natal charts. Or there's something about their, oh my goodness, I can't think of the word right now. The chart for the lovers. What is it? I cannot think. This is going to bother me because I'm going to remember, but put it in the comments. The composite chart. There we go. Thank you. So let's talk about the deer person, because we have a lot of the similar energies here. On this side, we also have a lot of fire and earth. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Then we have Leo there. Leo, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we also have a little bit of water because that's moon in the fifth house. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces being represented. So who is this deer person? This is someone who, like the lamb, is someone who really operates from a place of love and from a place of nurturing and from a place of care. One thing about this deer person is that this is somebody who is very compassionate, very loving, and very nurturing. You being in the presence of this deer person makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you are being taken care of. This is somebody who feels very trustworthy. You know those people where you meet them and the first time that you meet them, it feels like you've known them forever and ever, and that you can just kind of almost like lean in and tell them your secrets, and that it's okay to trust them and to connect with them, and that they're like this just trustworthy person, or it feels like you've known them your whole life. That's the vibe of this deer person. This is someone who is very protective of the people that he or she loves. This is someone who's very caring and very soft. And there's something about this person's energy. Like, even if this is like a man who's like 6'5" and does some sort of like sport, like their energy is still very nurturing, very protective, very like, it doesn't matter what they look like or what the gender is. This deer person's energy, their vibe, is very protective and very kind and very inviting and very nurturing. And I also think that this deer person puts out a very like cool, calm, and collected energy, where they always seem to be in control and they always seem to be grounded in the present moment, even when they are not. Like they still have this I'm present, I'm grounded, I'm here feel about them, even if they are internally like just stressed out, internally anxious, dealing with some things. The energy that they put out is very grounded and very present in the present moment and very calm. This is also somebody that this deer person, I think it's true for both of these people, but especially the deer, there's something very beautiful about this person, and something that just seems very hmm it's very beautiful. Like this is somebody who would be very beautiful, very handsome, very like gorgeous, like they light up the room. There's something about their actual appearance that is very pleasing to the eye. And I also think that this dear person is very much in touch with their inner child. This is somebody who has like a very, I don't want to say child ish because it's more childlike energy to them. And it's very interesting because it feels like the lamb is like an old soul, but it feels like the deer is very much connected to the inner child. And I want to be clear, this does not mean that this is somebody who's immature, but there's almost like this childlike energy to them, this brightness to them, this sense of magic and wonder to this person. And this is somebody who is very committed to relationships. It's very committed to the connections that they have in their life. And I do think the deer person is more extroverted than the lamb person, but I wouldn't say either of these two are necessarily like always surrounded by people, or that either of these are like always going out to like parties or something like that, because I think their energy is a lot more reserved than that. But when it comes to a comparison, I would absolutely say the deer person is way more extroverted than the lamb person, with the reminder that that doesn't mean the lamb person can't hang, because I think if you put the lamb person in a room full of people, they will absolutely work the room. But I also think that this deer person has this almost, when I say childlike, they're always dreaming up of new ways to do things and new adventures to go on. And this person has a lot of like just wonder and awe about the way that they approach the world, which is actually very beautiful, because I think when these two are going to join forces together, their approach to the world is one of best case scenario. I find the best in any situation and I can make the best out of what life hands me, which is going to be, I think, part of what connects these two is their approach to the world. Because I don't think either of these would do well with someone who is a pessimist, or someone who is always finding fault in the world, or someone who really finds like negativity and tries to focus on what's negative and what's not working. Like these two feel like they're very optimistic, and they want to look at the best, and they want to have a good time, and they want to explore and find something to be grateful for and find something to be excited about, and that's something that's going to connect them. And these two are both givers. Like this isn't the case of like somebody is a giver is meeting up with a taker. These two are givers, and I also think that them connecting together is going to help both of them kind of feel that I'm finally getting something back, because I think these two have dealt with people that have been more on the selfish side, whereas in this connection it feels like we're just willing to give to one another, and that's going to be a very beautiful feeling of this other person is showing up, and this other person is giving to me and investing just as much as I am, if not more. And I think both of these two are very romantic and idealistic. Let's take a look at the soul connection here. The soul level connection between these two. We have first chakra, Archangel Michael, and that's the root chakra. We have man holding a heart. And let's see what else. We have blossoming abundance. Wow. Do I want to put this on this side? So, pile number 2, your connection to this person is first and foremost, this is a soulmate connection. For some of you, this could be like a divine counterpart, twin flame, whatever label you want to give it, that's up to you. But there's a heart there's like a true soul connection with this person. I do think at the very least this is a soulmate connection. And part of what connects you to one another is absolutely love. Part of what connects you to one another is also going to be the root chakra and the heart chakra. So this is going to be a connection that is really based on love, on just feelings, romance, passion, um, chemistry. I also think with the root chakra, this is a connection that is going to feel very grounded, and that you are going to have the opportunity to ground your desires, ground your vision for the future with one another, like really ground that in. And I think part of the soul connection, part of the blueprint here is that you are meant to connect and build something together. And we are looking at messages from your future spouse. So this is absolutely somebody that you are going to build a life with, right? Build your future with, build a legacy with. And this is somebody that you are going to be able to manifest a lot of things together. There is this energy of both of you manifesting what you desire, not only tangibly, but also emotionally, right? I do think for this group, this is very specific, so only take it if it resonates. For some of you, you do have um, a spirit baby that is meant to come in, where you are going to raise the spirit baby. You are going to be the parent of the spirit baby with this future spouse. And it's like there is a soul contract between you, your future spouse, and this baby, where this baby is going to, you're meant to be in this baby's life in some way. Take that if it resonates or as it resonates. I also think that you and your future spouse are going to build some sort of like family or community together. There's a sense of community, there's a sense of other people being a part of like the family that you build. So let's take a look at what makes you attractive. And for this reading, I am channeling your future spouse's higher self. So, for those of you that have not met this person, we're talking about what this person will find attractive about you. If you know what this person is, then this is confirmation about what you probably already know. So, we have the Queen of Wands. Love it. Ooh, the Empress. Okay. And the Knight of Pentacles. So, first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of like chemistry, physical touch, and intimacy in this connection. This feels like two people that just want to cuddle, they want to kiss, they want to hug, they want to do other things that YouTube doesn't want to talk about. But what this person is going to find attractive about you, what your future spouse finds attractive about you, for those of you that already know who this person is, first and foremost, it's you as a whole. It's who you are, how you represent yourself, how you carry yourself, and how you show up in the world. Regardless of your gender, I think, and I believe I said this towards the beginning of this reading, regardless of your gender, there's a lot of divine feminine energy here. And I think that your future spouse, one of the things that your future spouse is going to absolutely find attractive about you and love about you is that is the energy that you operate under. Like there's something very soft about you, because when we think about the divine feminine and feminine energy, it's very soft, it's very giving, it's very not only giving but also receptive, and it's very inviting, very nurturing. That is how your future spouse sees you, and also how your like what your future spouse finds attractive about you. You are very nurturing, you are very beautiful. I also think for this group, for some of you it's like the chest or the boobs. Take that as it resonates. This person could really be into like chest area, boobs, cleavage, all of those things. There's something about that area that's coming up. I'm also seeing the legs. There's something about very beautiful legs here, or like very sexy legs. Some of you have like an hourglass shape that is being highlighted here, or it could just be your shape in general. Take it as it resonates. There's also something about your eyes that is very kind, pile number two, that your future spouse is going to absolutely love. Like it just feels like there's something very warm and inviting about your eyes. And what I'm hearing is when you look at your future spouse, they are going to be able to see love emanating from you. They are going to be able to see, like, my spouse absolutely loves me just by the way that you look at them, and by the way that you um treat them as well. But there's something about like the way that you look at them that's going to be very powerful. And I also think that you and your future spouse are almost going to have like this connection where you just have to look at one another and you can communicate in that way without words. So like if you are out with a group of friends, or you are out in the public, or maybe it's like a work event and you kind of just want to like look at one another, you that's it. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to secretly text the other person. The message is being received loud and clear. Like you just have like that communication, that level of just, we know what we mean and we don't have to say a word. I also think that you have almost like this playful banter for this group that's coming through, that is going to be there. But your future spouse also loves just how patient you are, how loving you are, how kind you are. I think that you are going to be very patient with them. And not only with them, but I think that you cultivating harmony and peace is going to be very important for you and for this relationship. And that's something that they're going to find so attractive about you. And there's something that they are going to absolutely love about you. I also think that your future spouse is really going to find attractive and love how spiritual you are and how connected you are to earth. I wonder if some of you have like a boho style, or like I don't know, the best way I can describe this is boho. Like oh my god, what's that store? Anthropology, Free People. I'm kind of getting that vibe, even if the clothes aren't from like that store. It's like that vibe that's coming through, and I think that's the best way would be like boho. Um, for some of you, that's the case. Some of you are very kind and very connected to animals, so it could be that you have pets. It could be that you volunteer, or like maybe animals are in some way very important, an important cause for you. That's also something that your future spouse is going to find very attractive, very beautiful about you. Someone here, if you and your future spouse are going to have children and you are the one that's going to be pregnant, your future spouse is absolutely going to find that you are glowing, that you are beautiful, and there's like so much appreciation and love. Where I think pile number two, if you're ever pregnant, your future spouse is going to just be 10 times more in love than they were before. Like it's just like radiating beauty to them. That's coming through, so take that if it resonates. For some of you, you keep plants. Maybe you're into like plants, you know, like plant person, plant mom, plant dad, whatever it is with the plants. That could also be something that like you have a lot of plants, or something about the way that you decorate the house. It's very warm, very inviting, very nurturing. Just trying to see if anything else comes through, and then we'll move on. All right, let's look at something your future spouse's higher self wants you to know right now. So, this is a message they have for you right now. Seven of Cups, the World, the Hermit, Nine of Swords. Okay, pile number two. First and foremost, if you are stressing out, if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are overthinking something, your future spouse's higher self just wants you to know that everything is going to be okay. You may be going through a transition in your life at this point in time where there may be some endings, or you may be looking to close a chapter and open a new one. Or it may feel like maybe you don't even have too much control over what's happening in your life. Like maybe something is coming to an end and it's not necessarily something that you initiated. Your future spouse wants you to know that everything is going to be okay, that you have choices, that you have options, and that these options, these choices, these opportunities are going to show up in your life sooner rather than later. So this feels, honestly, it doesn't feel too much related to this connection or to this relationship, though I think for some of you, part of the stress could be around like, why isn't my person here yet? But this is your future spouse's higher self saying everything is going to be okay. Trust yourself, trust the process, be kind to yourself. And this is also your future spouse's higher self saying, I'm here. I got you. I got your back. And even though we may not be connected in the 3D, for those of you that don't know who this is, just know that I am with you energetically, that you can connect with me, and that I am supporting you from here. But it does feel like for this group, you may be in a period of time where there's just like a lot of transitions. There's things that are changing, and it may feel overwhelming because it may not, like, you may not be clear on what's next, or it just may feel like this is a very scary time for whatever reason. Um, Whether something is going on in your life or like things just don't feel like you know what's gonna happen next, or like maybe you just don't know. For some of you, it could be like, I don't know if I'm gonna meet my person. Whatever this is about, this is your future spouse saying it's gonna be okay. There's a lot more that you cannot see just yet, that's coming your way, that is actually meant for you. And this is also your future spouse really saying, like, your future spouse's higher self really saying that you don't have to rush into anything. You don't have to force anything, to allow everything to unfold as it should and unfold naturally, because what's going to happen is that you are going to notice that certain opportunities and certain answers are going to reveal themselves when the time is right. And this is almost an encouragement to sit in the discomfort, knowing that there's a new beginning coming in, and knowing that you are ascending and that both of you are ascending at the same time. I do think there's a good amount of mirroring happening here for both of you. And I would not be surprised if your future spouse is going through something similar at this time, which is going to lead us to what's blocking both of you at this time. So this could be what's blocking the connection, what's blocking you individually. Let's see what we have here. Seven of Pentacles, there's impatience here, and Five of Pentacles. There's a lot of grief here. There's frustration here, and I think there's a lot of impatience here. And for some of you, it has to do with the fact that you are ready to connect. And I think your future spouse is as well too, right? Like, I think this is a case where both people are ready, which is lovely, but also it's like both people are ready, so what's taking so long? And I think that when it comes to possible blockages, like blocking you, blocking them, or blocking the connection itself, I think this is really speaking to a little bit of both, because we have the Seven of Pentacles here. So there's a level of impatience, and there could even be like, I'm losing faith, I'm losing hope to this. And again, that frustration, right? Like, I'm frustrated because I am not getting to where I want to be and I'm ready to be there. So, you know how they say, like, if you don't have time to meditate for 5 minutes, make sure you take 20 minutes to meditate. This is kind of the energy that's coming through, where if you're feeling impatient, if you are feeling like you're stuck or you're frustrated or you feel like you're losing faith, that's actually creating blockages. Because the thing is, what is meant for you cannot be taken from you, and what is meant for you cannot pass you. And we also have that 5 of Pentacles here, which is all about, feeling left out, feeling the blockages, right? I feel left out, I feel blocked. Um all of those things, and it can even represent feeling helpless and feeling like scarcity, or like I am a victim of the circumstances, and it could really dive into like low self-worth, or just I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So if this resonates as to what you are feeling, especially as it relates to love and relationships and your future spouse, really working with that energy. And again, pile number 2, you are already connected to this person. You are already plugged into their energy. They are plugged into your energy. And I know it's easier said than done, but really not letting the heaviness of the reality of the present situation bring you down. And what is the reality? For some of you, it could be, I haven't met them yet, but I'm ready. For others of you, it could be, I know this person, but it's not coming together, or it's not moving in the right direction. So really trying to break free from this energy, which again, I know it's easier said than done to just say like, yeah, you just have to break free. Yeah, just do something different. Yeah, that's hard, right? That's hard. But being conscious, and if something is coming up where it's like the impatience, the frustration, the grief, the feeling left out, if you're comparing yourself to other people, really saying, hey, thank you for sharing, but I know that's not true. That is not my truth. My person is out there. I am meant to connect with this person. And I always say this, but it's a good reminder to do things and to give yourself opportunities where the universe can bring you exactly what it is that you want, right? Where you can connect to the person that you want, where you can give yourself opportunities where you meet new people, where your future spouse can find you and you can find them. But let's take a look at what they're currently working on. So, what is your future spouse currently working on at this time? And we have the Emperor, and we have the 7 of Pentacles. Your future spouse is really focused on work, finances, career. Your future spouse is focused on and working on building their wealth, their legacy. There's a project, there's something that your future spouse is really investing body, mind, and spirit to at this time. I think for most, it's going to be something where it's like a business. Maybe it's like taking a specific class. Someone may be getting a master's degree or a doctorate. Take that if it resonates. Somebody's future spouse could absolutely be working on like a master's, a doctorate, or like building up a business. But your future spouse's energy, like where they're investing, what they're currently working on at this time, is their wealth and planning for their future and the foundations that they are setting for their future. So I do think this person is ready. But I also think that this person doesn't have too much free time to connect at this time, which could be why this is taking a little bit longer. Because it feels like they are really prioritizing something that's very tangible, something that is going to give them a return on their investment. For some, it could be school and work. It could be a career. It could be a business. It could be a project. There's something along those lines, and this person is really focused on bringing this and growing it and like really investing their time and energy into this. Different things for different people, but it's something around that like area, like where it's career, business, schooling, something that is going to build them, um, something that's going to build them a foundation, but also bring back a return. And I think that your future spouse is doing this very much so that they are ready to be the provider that they want to be. Because I think this person wants to provide, this person wants to be fully ready so that when they meet their person, they're good to go. Let's take a look at a glimpse into your life together. We're going to see what comes up for the it's been different things for different piles, but let's see what comes up as far as a glimpse into your life together. The Ace of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Swords, Judgment card. All right, let's talk about it. So I think a day in the life, right? That's what we're going to call it. A day in the life of my pile number 2 and their future spouse. First and foremost, I think you both are going to enjoy time together. This to me is a couple that wants to like, let's stay in and cook a good meal, or like, let's get takeout, but let's watch a movie, or let's talk, or let's invite like a couple of friends where it's an intimate setting. But I think that for both of you, there's a lot of like deep connection and understanding and just wanting to spend time with one another, where I think you both are going to create opportunities where you can just connect and fully fully spend time in each other's company. But I also think there's a sense of almost like that's part of it, but on the other hand, there's also times where you want to go on adventures together. I do feel like when it comes to an average day in the life of, that you two are really going to enjoy talking to one another and just like, this feels like, let's get like a nice beverage. It could be an alcoholic beverage for some of you. It could be something else. I'm seeing hot chocolate. I am seeing a fireplace, like hot chocolate, a fireplace, cozy, like let's just talk and let's just chat. I don't know why. I'm kind of seeing card games. Oh my God, what is this? I'm not very good at card games, but I'm seeing like card games. Not necessarily like a board game, like a card game. All I know about card games is poker. Um, but it just feels like, let's stay in and let's talk. Where there are some times where it's like, let's go out and let's explore. But for the most part, I really do think this is a couple where on an average day or like in the life of, there's a lot of just talking and spending time together. And I almost feel like sometimes you're going to like hide away, or like, yeah, no, we can't go out, we're busy, and you just want to spend time with one another. This feels very sweet. Like I said, it feels like so cozy because I'm seeing fireplace, I'm seeing like hot chocolate. Again, for some of you, it could be a different type of beverage, but I'm being shown like hot chocolate with like marshmallows, and like movies or shows. It just feels very cozy. I don't know if both of you just really enjoy like fall, winter, um, or if it's just like you're just a cozy vibe together, but that's what I'm seeing. And I know for some people you don't get the colder weather, but that's what I'm seeing. And this feels like after a rough week, we just enjoy coming home to one another and just being able to spend some time together. I'm also seeing making something. For some of you, it could be like doing something art related, like a vision board. For some reason, that's coming through. For others of you, it could just be like projects around the house where you like try, like you enjoy making things together or decorating together. That's actually very beautiful, pile number 2. I love it. All right, let's get to the messages. So, all of these are going to be messages that your future spouse has for you. For this part, take the ones that resonate for you. They may not all resonate. That is okay. For some of you, you may know who this person is. You may not know who this person is. So take them as they resonate. The first one we have is: this situation is being caused by both of us. Look at your own role in this situation to help us change it. So, what's going on in your life? What are you hoping for? If you know this person, what's the situation and what role do you play in it? For those of you that don't know this person, what are you focusing on? So if, like your future spouse, you're focusing on something else, are you creating time and space to meet this person? Then we have: my inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me in the way that I needed them to. I am reacting from that wound. So one or both of you, but especially your future spouse, could have a childhood that was less than ideal, which I don't think I think most people did not have their ideal or like perfect childhood. So they could be working on that, on healing that wound as well. Then we have growth. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. Pile number 2, it's very interesting. Some of these cards are already kind of pointing to some of you already know who this is. Let's see what else we have. I feel like I don't deserve your love. I'm worried you'll leave me when you see who I really am. Some of you know who this is because these feel like very specific, and not all these cards have to do with messages like these, and you're getting a lot of them. Let's see what else we have here. Our energy is stagnant. Triggers sometimes happen to break the stagnancy and help the energy flow again. So, especially if you are in a place, whether you know this person or not, where things feel very stagnant, that could be a message to get things moving again so that you can connect and that you can build the relationship that you want and that you can allow this person in, attract it in, and that you can find it. Then we have: don't listen to other people. Trust yourself. You know the truth. For some of you, if you know who this person is and there's like third parties trying to give opinions, trust what you know yourself best. For those of you that are single, you don't know who this is, there's no one else in the picture. Don't let other people convince you of what you know is not true for you or right for you. Then we have: I care about you even when I act like I don't. I am hiding my true feelings because I feel vulnerable. Pile number 2, I want to know if you know who this person is. Let me know in the comments. I think some of you know who this is. Then we have: I long to sweep you off your feet and shower you with my love. And again, some of these could be messages if you don't know who this person is. Something that they are wishing they can do and something that they are yearning for to do with their future spouse, to do with their person that they haven't met yet. I wish you could see that we are mirroring each other right now. There's a lot of mirroring happening here. Pile number 2, let's take a look at these cards here because these are additional messages. I check on you to see if you are okay. Somebody may be spying on you. If you know who this person is, they may be checking in on you through like social media. Then we have: I am your number one cheerleader. And this person's higher self, and this person, for those of you who know who this is, they want the best for you. And I think for those of you who haven't met this person, their higher self is really like checking in on you and really sending you like the best vibes. And then we have: I see signs about you all the time. So there are some synchronicities here, especially if you know who this person is, but also if you've never met them or you haven't met them yet, there could be synchronicities that are coming in about, like, you may get signs when they are about to come in, or you may see them in your dreams, you may see them in your meditations, you may feel their energy around you. Being open to that. But as I said, take these messages as they resonate because not all of them are going to resonate with everyone watching this pile. Let's see what else we have here. So I have 2 messages of love. Forgiveness. Forgiving yourself or another will help you move forward. And I think radical acceptance and being where you are and understanding that you are where you are and you can make the best of it is very important. But also, you don't need to be harsh with yourself. You don't need to be mean to yourself. And remember, forgiving isn't about the other person. It's also not saying that you have to let the other person in, but it's a way to free yourself from the energy and what's holding you back. And then we have here and now. Your true love is already part of your life. Pile number 2, I think for at least a good amount of you, you already know who this is. For those of you who do know who this is confirmation. For those of you that may not be, you don't know who this is, there's nobody that this could be in your current life. This is saying remain grounded, remain present, because that is how you manifest this. This is how you bring this person in. But I picked a goddess card, and this goddess card is going to give us more information, but also this could be a goddess that you can work with, but it's a message and confirmation, or a message for you, and a goddess that you can work with. And we have a knot with surrender. When I let go the reins of control, I thrive. Pile number 2. I trust myself and receive love. I trust myself and receive love. That is your affirmation. Claim it in the comments. I hope this reading resonated. Please let me know what else you'd like to see next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the things that YouTube loves that help the channel out so much. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet sticker. And I'm going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown, which is timestamped below. I highly suggest you check that out because it's going to tell you exactly what this reading is going to be covering, and that way you can figure out if it's the right reading for you, if it's a match for what you are looking for. So we are going to get started by looking at your not current energy, who you are and who your future spouse is. And my intention is that you, my viewer, are on the left and your future spouse is on the right. It can happen that the energies are flip-flopped where you can be here and your future spouse is here. But if this doesn't sound like you and this doesn't sound like you, this is probably not your pile. So you can try choosing a different one. But let's get started. So, and I dropped that. Person 1, we have Black Egg. Let me grab the card I dropped. We also have Mercury in the 2nd house with Taurus. I have Supreme Entrepreneur, sees the obvious, steady pace, clever, logical, pragmatic, money from trees, one-track mind, resourceful, moody, knowledge equals money, indecisive, shy. You can be stubborn and indecisive, but your practical knowledge and resource management makes you an empire builder par none. Try to be more flexible. And we have understanding. Person number 2, we have the hyena. That's quite the energy. We also have Mercury in the 11th house with Aquarius. I know. Unorthodox ideas, inquisitive, intelligent, loves debate, rational, seeks new ways to do things, multitask, collective ideas, sociable, gets sidetracked, manipulative, picky, and it says you can talk about anything to anyone and have 10 ideas to their one. Vast vision, ambition, and problem solving brings success, but focus is a challenge for you. And we also have transformation. Okay, so let's start by talking about the zodiac signs for the black egg person because I do know that you all love when I do that. But with the black egg, we have all signs being represented. This is a card that represents spirit in this deck. So all 12 zodiac signs are represented, but I am going to highlight Mercury, which is Gemini energy, and Taurus, as well as air signs Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we'll talk about the hyena when we get there. So, who is this black egg person? I want to say, out of all three piles, I think pile number three, this black egg person is probably the most spiritual. And also, with this black egg person and this Mercury card being here, communication, words, Gemini energy, truth is very important to this black egg person. I do think that this is somebody who mainly operates from the throat chakra, somebody who has a very strong throat chakra. And I think that this black egg person is someone who is very sure of who they are and what their beliefs are, but also someone who does a lot of work in order to know themselves and in order to honor themselves. With this black egg being here, this is someone who is very authentic to who they are and someone who is full of potential as well. Like, I think this black egg person is really someone who not only knows who they are, but this person knows what they want and they're not afraid to go after it. I also think that there's something about the way that this person speaks, whether it's that they could have a gift, like maybe they have a very beautiful singing voice, or they have a way of connecting with words. This could be somebody who's like a writer, a public speaker. This could be somebody who's a teacher. But this black egg person has a very strong connection to the written word and a very strong connection to their throat chakra. And how they communicate and how they show up is very powerful. There's something about a lot of power here. I also think that this black egg person is someone who is very creative and someone who is very innovative. This could be someone that is a business owner. This could be someone that has a project on the side or a hobby that is very meaningful to them. I think this black egg person is full of potential and someone who is very curious and someone who is very open to exploring their curiosity when it comes to their ideas, hobbies, interests. I think that the black egg person is always looking for something to delve deeper into, something to learn more about, and something to bring to life, if you will. And one thing about the black egg person is that they are on this eternal journey of self mastery and self knowledge. So I think that who this person is at their core is constantly changing and evolving. Like, who this person is today is completely different from who they were probably a year ago, because this is somebody who is constantly growing and someone who is constantly working on their growth. And I think that the black egg person really enjoys expanding their perspective and expanding their knowledge of themselves and the world around them. I also think that because this black egg person is so wise and because this black egg person is so intelligent and because they have so much life experience, sometimes it makes it very hard for them to truly decide on something or make up their mind. So this could be somebody who at times can be very indecisive of I can see this perspective, I can see the other person's perspective, or I can see this outcome, but I can also see this other outcome. I really feel like the black egg person may struggle with like so little time, so many things to do. And it could feel like at times this person is just like racing against the clock. I'm hearing tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. That could be a sign that someone here, maybe a content creator on TikTok. But I think this also speaks to overall this black egg person really just feeling like there is not enough time in the day to get done everything that they want to get done. And I also think that this is someone who really draws other people in. Like when somebody is seeking advice, when someone is seeking someone to confide in, I think they go to the black egg person because there is so much empathy, because there is so much understanding. And I really feel like the black egg person is very good at holding, like, if you go to this person and you tell them a secret, they are going to hold on to that. They are not going to gossip. They are not going to spread the news around. They're not going to share what is not theirs to share. So, this is somebody very loyal, very honest, and very trustworthy. And I also think that the black egg person goes through periods of time or periods in their life where they may feel disconnected from themselves. So it may be like this person goes through points in time where they have to just reconnect, points in time where they have to kind of go find themselves again. So this is someone who is constantly reinventing themselves in the best way possible. And I also think that part of this black eggs person's purpose in this lifetime is to master their truth and to speak up for themselves and maybe even for others. For some that may resonate where it's I'm going to speak up for someone else. I am going to stand up for someone else. I am going to be the voice of those that do not have a voice, or I am going to amplify the voices that maybe aren't so loud in certain spaces. But this black egg person, self-expression is extremely important. And I think that for some, the black egg person has a very unique style to them. It could be about the way that they dress, what like how they express themselves. It could be their hair, it could be the makeup, it could be, a combination of all of those things. But there's something about self-expression, and I think for some, the black egg person really leans into self-expression through fashion. And this could be someone that is very into fashion. For one or two, this could be somebody who's even a model that's coming through. um, but this could also be somebody who's like a teacher, a writer, an editor, a musician, somebody in speech therapy, something along those lines. But take that as it resonates. So let's talk about the hyena. So, this hyena person, actually, before we get there, let's talk about these signs. So, we have the hyena is represented by fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We also have Mercury, which Mercury, Gemini energy. We have Aquarius energy here, and we have transformation, which is more Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, right? That transformation, alchemy, fire energy is very transformative. So, who is this hyena person? First and foremost, this is someone who has a big personality. Like this hyena person, you notice this person. If you are in a room with them, you will notice them. They are almost like a bigger than life personality that is coming through for this hyena person. I also think that this is someone who's very intelligent, very captivating, very alluring. And I think that that's something that both of these people share, that there's a level of like mystery to them where the people around them aren't really getting a full read on them. But this is especially true for the hyena because I think that the hyena can be very charming, very witty, very sarcastic, just very funny. But I also think that the hyena person is very good at putting together what they want other people to see. So this is somebody who really can wear the mask of what they want to appear like in front of other people. I don't think that everyone who is around the hyena gets to see who the hyena truly is. It's almost like they have this persona that they put out into the world, and the persona is very fun, very carefree, very unserious. Like this person feels like they're not very serious. At least that's the persona that they put out into the world. Because what I think is happening underneath that is much more serious. Like I think this is somebody who is very serious, very responsible, very self-aware as well. But again, they almost put out like this playful energy that does not really match all of who they are. And that is very much crafted and done on purpose with this hyena person. This is somebody who is very innovative, somebody who is um very future focused. Like I think the hyena person is always thinking like one or two steps ahead. And I think the hyena person has a lot of ideas that are ahead of its time. And I think that's something that these two have in common. It's that they're always expanding, and they're always thinking ahead. And a lot of the ideas that they have are sometimes not well received. And it's because it's like the world is not ready yet for these ideas. But this hyena person is someone who, very similarly to the black egg person, is undergoing a lot of transformation, and someone who is constantly working at being the best version of themselves. So this is somebody who is expanding and growing and figuring out who am I at this moment and how have I changed and what information do I have at my disposal that changes my my outlook and my approach to life. This is two people that are very teachable, two people that are very much aware and consciously making choices for their life. Um and I think that the hyena, when it comes to the hyena, I think the hyena person is very good at masking because of past life experiences where maybe in the past they've had to deal with situations that were kind of painful. This is almost kind of like when you have a comedian. Sometimes the comedians that are the funniest are some of the people that have been through some of like, I don't want to say the worst traumas, but they've been through a lot in their life. I'm kind of thinking of like Robin Williams. That's what's coming through for this hyena person, where a lot of like this persona is built because that's what they want to show the world and they want to protect themselves. But the thing about the hyena is they're very soft, and once they let you in, they let you see this side of them. They let you into this other side to them. And one thing about the hyena is also that their mind is always racing. Their mind is always going, and they have all of these things that they want to do. It's very interesting because I think for both of these people there is that level of like so little time, so many things to do. Like time just feels like it's never enough, and there's never enough hours in the day to get done what these two want to get done. And one thing that I also want to say about the hyena is that they do have like they're very funny, but I also think that they kind of deflect by using a joke or by being funny. Especially when they're uncomfortable, I think that's when you see a lot of that sense of humor come out. So it's almost like a deflection. But this is somebody who feels things very deeply. This is somebody who values relationships very deeply. And I think that this is somebody who really wants to experience healthy connection. And I think that's a driving force for both of these people, but especially for the hyena. And one thing about the hyena is the hyena person is constantly looking for new things to do and new ways of doing the things that they're already doing, which I think is it's part of what's going to connect these two together. But pile number 3, let's look at the soul connection. Like, what is the soul level connection here? What's that like? What's going on here? So we have door to personal healing and happiness. We have community. And finally, we have third chakra with Archangel Camuel. I believe it's Camuel. But let's talk about it. So, third chakra is the solar plexus. And we have community, we have door to healing, to personal healing and happiness. I do think this is a soulmate connection that you have with this person. And I also think that there's a lot that connects you with one another, especially when it comes to creativity and when it comes to the way that you approach the world. I do feel like for some of you, this is a part of your soul family. And when I talk about soulmates and soul family, this is somebody that you have been incarnating with. For those of you that believe in past lives and in reincarnation, I think that this is somebody that you have been reincarnating with for many lifetimes. I would say at least 3 to 4 lifetimes where you and this person have had lifetimes together. And I think in every single lifetime that you have shared with this person, they have been something different in your life. Like, it could be that in one lifetime they were a best friend, and in this lifetime they are meant to be your future spouse. So it just feels like you've lived lifetimes with them where you were different things to each other throughout those lifetimes. But there is this energy of comfort here, and there is this energy of you will probably recognize this person. At the very least, you are going to feel very comfortable in their presence and very much connected to them. I also think that part of your connection could very well be that you are connected to other people that are in each other's lives. So this could be somebody that you meet through a friend. This could be someone that you meet through work. This could be someone that you are introduced to maybe through like a coworker or like a family member. It does feel like there are some connections here as far as like who this person is and how you connect to one another. If that's not the case, I do think you will. It's almost like if they don't already connect to someone in your life, or you don't connect to someone in their life, it's like you're going to build strong bonds to the people that are in each other's life. That's coming through very strongly. I also think that there is going to be a base of friendship for this connection where it's, we're together, you're my spouse, I love you, I'm attracted to you, but so much more than that. We are friends, we get along, I see you, you see me, I admire you, I respect you, you admire me, you respect me. And I think that this is a relationship for both of you that is going to be very healing for both of you. I think part of the connection that you have and the soul connection that you have is going to be a lot of just healing that you are going to bring to each other's lives. Let's talk about what makes you attractive to your future spouse. And I've said this, but for this reading, I'm really tapping into your future spouse's higher self. If you know this person, then you may get confirmation of what they already find attractive about you. But for those of you that don't know this person, we are talking to your future spouse's higher self. Ooh, the High Priestess. King of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. All right, pile three. So I'm going to talk about what your future spouse is going to find attractive. It's not just going to be physical. We're going to cover a lot of things for this portion. Take it as it resonates. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. First and foremost, I think what your future spouse is going to find attractive about you is, I really do feel for this group, there's like almost this mysterious, alluring energy that you walk around with. Not everyone can read you. I would actually say, pile number three, most people cannot read you. Most people don't really know exactly what you are about. And there's something very mysterious about you, very sensual about you. And I think something that is very appealing to your future spouse. It's like there are so many layers to you, and you are not someone where your future spouse is going to be able to easily read. This almost feels like I need to get to know this person because this person is so intriguing. And it's like the more that they try to get to know you, the more they realize there are even more layers to be uncovered. And I think that's going to be very attractive, very alluring for your partner, for your future spouse. I also think that there's someone here, take it if it resonates. Somebody's future spouse is really going to like your feet. This person may have something with the feet going on. They may find your feet very beautiful. That could be a focal point for them, but I'm really getting that it's being highlighted here. For some of you, you may get like pedicures. Your feet may just feel especially soft, or you may paint your nails. There's something about the feet that's coming through. Take it as it resonates. I also think for this group, the lips, the mouth area, like the lips, are going to be something that your future spouse finds very attractive and very sexy. And just for some of you, you have like, there's something about the shape of your lips or the fullness of your lips that your future spouse is really going to love, really going to be attracted to. I also think that your future spouse is going to be attracted to your emotional availability and your nurturing nature. Like, it feels like you are someone who is going to, it's almost like very refreshing how you are going to say what you mean and mean what you say. And I think that your future spouse is going to find that very attractive, of like, they can trust you and they know that if you say something, you are going to, like, you're going to do it. You're going to meet the expectation. And I think for some of you, like, just, I'm going to be there at 6 p.m. and you're going to show up at 6 p.m. And your future spouse is really going to love that. There's something about your voice. For some of you, you may play an instrument or you may sing. That's coming through. For some of you, you create something with your hands, or you are very good at cooking, making a meal. Take that as it resonates. Pile number three, your future spouse is going to love just how abundant you are. There's something about you where it just feels like you are so abundant that it's like everything you touch turns to gold. Everything you touch turns to abundance, and your future spouse is going to absolutely love that about you. Someone here is like very thoughtful when it comes to communication. It could be that like you send like these little cute text messages. I'm hearing anticipation. For someone here, like when it comes to keeping romance alive, or when it comes to keeping things spicy in the bedroom, it could be that like you build up some anticipation through like letters, text messages, phone calls, something along those lines is coming through. But very thoughtful. That's coming through. Like you're very thoughtful and you are very intentional. You're also very open and easy to communicate with, which your future spouse finds very, very attractive about you. I'm really hearing that you smell very good, pile number three. There's something about like your smell. You smell very good. It could be that you use perfume, cologne. It could be a body spray. It could just be like you use a specific body wash. But there's something about the way that you smell that's going to be very um, attractive to your future spouse. I'm also hearing just like the way that you conduct yourself and the way that you treat other people is also going to be very attractive to this person. I'm just seeing if anything else wants to come through. Some of you are very good with money. Some of you are very good, like if you're very good with like the way you spend your money or the way you manage your money, that's gonna be like attractive. Like I think it could be that like you are an investor. It could be that you like something about just like the handling, how you handle, how you invest. I think you're very financially savvy, pile number three, and that's very attractive. And I think you're very abundant, pile number three. But let's take a look at something your future spouse's higher self wants you to know right now. So, this is something that you need to know right now from your future spouse's higher self. Knight of Swords, Four of Cups, Two of Swords, very interesting, and Knight of Cups. Okay. Pile number three. What your future spouse's higher self wants you to know is first and foremost, this is going to be a few different messages are coming in for a few like different people. Take the one that resonates for you. I think most of my pile number threes are in a place right now where there may be a sense of apathy and there may be a level of just feeling confused, overwhelmed, or just not knowing what to do next. Where it could just be, I'm trying to figure out what the next move is, but I don't necessarily know, and I don't know how I'm going to get there, or I don't know if something is going to work out for me. And for those of you that may be dwelling on the past, in whatever way that could be, like that could be about a past relationship, that could be about something that didn't pan out, something that hasn't happened, but there's almost like this focus on something that just hasn't worked out, or something in the past where it's preventing you from being fully present in the present moment, in the here and now. And one thing that your future spouse's higher self wants you to know is that there is so much more, and there are so many opportunities coming your way, and there's so much that is meant for you that is headed your way. First and foremost, your future spouse's higher self is saying, regardless of what this is about, you have not missed out. You haven't missed out on any opportunities. Nothing that was meant for you has been taken from you. You haven't, time isn't running out. That's a big message here. You are where you are meant to be, and there is so much beauty that is meant to be experienced. And I think for many of you, this message has to do with love and maybe feeling like you missed out, or your person is never coming in, or it's taking too long, or you're not going to be able to enjoy everything that you want to enjoy with your future spouse because it's taking so long. Um, your future spouse's higher self is saying that is a myth, that is fear talking. Do not believe that. We will connect, we will have a wonderful life together, and there's so much for us to do together. If you are feeling like you are ready to give up, this is your future spouse's higher self saying, please don't, because we will meet, we will connect, and we will have a beautiful relationship together. But this is also your future spouse's higher self really encouraging you to get yourself out of the energy of waiting, but also to get yourself out of that sense of like frustration, apathy, or just like that energy of like, I've given up, I don't care. Because that's just not true. You do care. And it's okay if you do care. As a matter of fact, not only is it okay if you do care, it is actually great that you do care, because that is what's going to create the opportunity for connection with your future spouse. And your future spouse is encouraging you to bring back hope, to bring back optimism, but also to bring back creativity, to bring in romance. And there's a reminder here that you can create love, that you can experience love, that you can bring in the sense of romance, that you can romanticize your life without having to wait for your future spouse to come in. And I think part of this message is, as you do that, you create space and you invite in your future spouse's energy. So that's a big message coming through here. And I actually want to see what's blocking both of you, what's blocking you, what's blocking them, what's blocking the connection. Let's see what we get. King of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Very interesting, because we had the Nine of Pentacles as part of the what your future spouse finds attractive, and now we have the Nine of Pentacles as a blockage. So when we are talking about what's blocking this, I think this specific answer is speaking to both of you, right? Because I kind of asked, like, what's blocking either of you, both of you, the connection itself. And I think what this is talking about is a tendency that's showing up here to try to control things. And I also think that there's a level of overthinking, overanalyzing. The thing is, there's a level of divine timing that goes into everything, especially when you think about connections, right? Because a connection, it's you, it's another person, and you have to both be in a place where you are ready to connect with one another. But also, you and the other person can also have other soul contracts that need to be met, that need to be fulfilled before you can connect with one another, which kind of complicates things. And I think a big thing that is creating blockages for both of you at this time is trying to overthink, overanalyze exactly how things are going to happen, or why they haven't happened, or what you need to do, or what needs to happen for your desired outcome to be the reality. And a big thing here is, I think, especially for my pile number threes, you have two people that are very intellectual. Whether you are the black egg or the hyena, there's a need to really connect and ground to the body, and really kind of get out of the mind from time to time, because I think this is two people that are very good at overthinking, overanalyzing. So that's a big message that's coming through, where a blockage could be like, yes, you're intelligent. Yes, you're very good at reading people and situations, but also try to not live in that place where right now it's all about overthinking, or it's all about trying to figure out what's next, or trying to control the situations, because that's coming up as important. And then we also have the Nine of Pentacles here with almost a question or an invitation for you both, pile number 3, but I'm talking to my viewer, right? So I think it could be both of you. But since I'm talking to my viewer, this is an invitation for you to really evaluate, right? Where you are at with where you are investing your time and energy, where you are investing your not only time and energy, but your resources. Are you someone that is always working? Are you someone that is spending so much thinking about the thing that you're not allowing yourself to go and do the thing? Are you perhaps so focused on one area of your life that the other areas of your life are kind of out of balance? Are you perhaps spending so much time and energy on your own pursuits that you are creating a life where you're feeling lonely, or that you're not creating enough time to connect to other people? Are you taking into consideration how far you've come and all of the milestones that you have reached and all of the goals that you have completed for yourself? This is really an invitation for both of you, but again, I'm only talking to my viewer, to really sit and say, what does my day-to-day life look like? And is it getting me to where I want to be? Or do I need to tweak some things and realign some other things and change some things around so that I am making more time and space for the things that matter to me the most? That's a big one that's coming through here. On that note, I want to see what your future spouse is currently working on. What are they up to, essentially? The Nine of Wands and the King of Wands. Yeah. So your future spouse right now, as you are watching this video real time, whenever it is that this video finds you, they're really focused on themselves. I'm not necessarily getting that this is somebody that has another party, or maybe dating around, or has a relationship that's pre-existing, because this feels like we have the Nine of Wands and the King of Wands. This feels like somebody who is focused on their own success and building what they want for themselves. And I think a big thing that your future spouse is working on is pushing beyond their own limitations and creating the life that they want to create for themselves. I think this is somebody who has a very clear vision of what they want in their life, and they are working very hard on creating that. And part of what this person wants is you, right? Part of what this person wants is that partner that is going to be reliable, that partner that is going to be somebody that they are attracted to, somebody they can love and is going to love them back. But I also think that their energy is a bit scattered amongst different areas. And I wouldn't be surprised if you two are mirroring one another in that sense. And that's why part of what's blocking is what's coming up as like, is it time to really look at where you are investing most of your time and energy and adjust accordingly? Because I think that what your future spouse is working on right now is like breaking through obstacles and pushing through to get to the other side of anything that, and any obstacles that they are facing, any obstacles that are holding them back. And this person could be an entrepreneur, and if they are really investing. Like, this isn't a 40-hour gig. This feels like 60, 80 hours. Like, this person is really pouring in to their project. To, it could be a career and a project, a career and a business. They could be an entrepreneur. For some of you, this person could have like a podcast or like something social media related on top of a job. So this feels like somebody who is very busy and trying to create something that they are very passionate about, which could be part of what's creating some delays because this person has a lot going on at this time. But again, I'm almost wondering if there's a level of that that's true for you, my viewer, as well. But let's take a look at a glimpse into your life together. Let's see what this is going to look like. So, this is like day to day life, a glimpse into what your connection, your life together is going to be. We have the Ace of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Chariot. Holy moly. Okay. Pile number 3, a day in the life, if you will. I think this is a relationship where both of you are very busy, and I think both of you have a lot going on. And I think that there's like many projects, many things that both of you are involved with. And I think a day in the life when it comes to both of you is being intentional about creating time and space to spend with one another. I think the times that you create to spend with one another is going to be super special because both of you have so much going on and there's so much responsibilities and like you're both so busy that it's like you're very not only intentional, but you're very grateful for those like quiet moments that you get to spend with one another. And I think there's going to be times where it's just both of you just saying like, you know what? We need to schedule some time alone. Take a day off of work. I'm going to take a day off of work. We're going to turn our phones off and we're just going to escape. And I think when you do that, there's going to be, for some of you, it's like, let's just like go book a hotel. Like, let's just go stay somewhere. Maybe it's a B&B. Maybe it's a, wherever it is that you choose to go. But I think it's like, let's get out of the house and let's go stay somewhere else. And let's kind of get away and be together and reconnect. But also on a day to day, a day in the life, if you will, I think there's going to be so much support where you're going to be able to go home and tell your future spouse or your spouse at that time about your day. And they're going to be invested. And they're going to tell you about their day and you're going to be invested to the point where, like, you know, you may say, like, Joanne at work did X, Y, and Z and she annoyed me, or like John at work was doing this, or like I had to deal with this vendor. And it's like your spouse is going to like basically know what you are talking about because they're somebody that you talk to and they're really invested in your day to day. And it's going to be the same when it comes to what's going on with them and their day-to-day life. But I also think what's going to be magical about your day-to-day life and your relationship with your future spouse is going to be that there's almost this element of magic where no matter what's going on, you are each other's safe space and you are both fully committed to this relationship. Like, this isn't somebody who's coming home after a long day and they want to ignore you and they want to just go to sleep. This person wants to connect with you and vice versa. And I think a day in the life for you both, I think there's going to be just like, let's go for a walk. Let's just have these talks where we talk about, you know, It's like, let's talk about these questions. If you could have dinner with anyone from any point in time, who would it be? And you're going for an hour walk where you can just talk about that and have a good time and really go in depth with like your answer and your spouse's answer. This feels very low key. And I think once you get older and as you get closer to retirement and as you retire, things slow down. But I think there's going to be a while where both of you are going to be pretty busy And it could be like we have children or we have pets and we have the jobs, we have a business, whatever it is. But there's a lot of intention around connecting with one another and bringing balance between the relationship and everything else that's going on. And I think that you're both going to be intentional about making sure that the relationship is always a priority, which I love. And I think that's beautiful, pile number 3. But we are going to get some messages from this person to you. So for those of you that know who this person is, it could be that the messages are like from them. For those of you that have never met this person, this is from their higher self. And as always, take the ones that resonate, especially for this part, because we have many different ones. So they may not all resonate with you, and that's fine. But let's see what we have here. Mission. We are alchemists. We transform fear into love and shadow into light. Absolutely for this group. Absolutely. And I think that if you are trying to manifest this and you're trying to speed this up, remember you are an alchemist and you get to do that. We have karmic ties. I've been giving my power away to people in my life. I'm learning to set boundaries. And I think this person is really working on being the best version of themselves and creating exactly what their vision is for themselves. And I do think for many, part of that is like really setting boundaries around certain relationships. Then we have growth. I've hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me I hope you can forgive me someday and understand I was reacting in fear. So for those of you who know this person, this is absolutely for you. If this is somebody that you know and there's a separation or something happened, that's them talking to you. Then we have timing and intentions. I don't feel deserving and it's affecting my levels of abundance and openness. And I think that that's what this person is working on, right? This person is working on feeling like they have what they need and they are deserving of what they want. That's definitely something that this person is actively working on. So we have karmic ties. I know I need to release attachment with karmic people. I'm creating a plan to leave him or her. For most of you, I don't think there is a third party. I don't think there's somebody else that this person is seeing. But if that resonates, take it as it resonates. But I think for others of you, part of what this person is breaking from is the way that they have reacted in relationships. And there could be karmic ties, but not necessarily a romantic karmic tie is what I'm getting. It's like half and half how that's going to resonate. Then we have, you think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything you say and even replay our conversations in my head. For those of you that know who this person is, they're absolutely feeling your absence and they're really kind of going through. And I think for those of you who know who this is, part of what they're working on right now is becoming somebody who deserves you. And for those of you who don't know who this is, you are definitely connected to this person. So you can try to meditate and send them a message, or you can kind of just think about them and send them a message. Their higher self is receiving the messages and you are already connected to this person. You can write them a letter that you're not going to send. Let's see what we have here. I am walking home to you. I am not sure where I am on the path, but I am walking it. Yeah. This person, whether you know them or not, they are headed your way. They are doing the work. They know what they want, and what they want is their person. So whether they know that you are their person or they have yet to meet you, they are on their way and they're doing the best that they can. We have, please don't give up on me. I'm trying to change, but it takes time. So this person will be coming in, whether you know them or not. They are doing the work. And I think for some of you, pile number 3, there is a level of like, I am ready. What the heck is taking so long? Then we have being mirrors for each other makes self-love so important. I wish I was there to love you, but if I'm not, I want you to love and nurture yourself. And that says it all. In the meantime, right, while this person comes in, making sure that you are doing what you need to do and showing up for yourself and giving yourself exactly what you deserve. And then we have all about growth. I am not going to give into fear. I know fear is only an illusion. This person, I think, pile number 3, is doing a lot of hard work to be ready and deserving of you, their future spouse. We have 3 more messages. There are soul lessons we still need to learn. And I think for some of you, they are being worked on right now, right? And then we have, I love to see you thrive in your goals and passion. So this is their higher self really encouraging you to continue to go after the things that light you up, your reason why, your purpose. In the meantime, as you are ready to go into union and to connect. And for those of you that know who this person is, they may be kind of keeping an eye on you. And then we have fated event, same timeline. So yeah, you will meet this person or you will reconnect with this person. It's fated. It's going to happen at the right time. Let's see what else we have here. Spiritual lesson. This person is in your life to teach you a spiritual lesson. So pile number 3, I think there are some spiritual lessons that you're still moving through. And I know that sounds very annoying. But I think that for many of you, that's kind of what's happening. And it could be on their side. It could be on your side. And for most of you, it's going to be both sides. And then we have children. Children are important to this partnership. For those of you that want children with this person, that is absolutely going to happen. That is absolutely a possibility here. And I also think the inner child is going to be very, very important. There could be some inner child healing that's happening for both of you. But pile number 3, I have a goddess card here, and this is a message for you. This could also be a goddess that you can work with at this time. So we have Arianarod. I believe that's how you say the name. And it's divine timing. Everything is happening according to plan. Wow. That seems like the perfect message for this group. You know what? Pile number 3, that's going to be your affirmation. Everything is happening according to plan. Claim it in the comments. That is your affirmation for the week. Yeah, claim it. But pile number 3, that is what I have for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the things that YouTube loves that help me out so much. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Let me know what else you'd like to see next in the comments below. Stay tuned for the next poll. And thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now.